Maritime harness racing was to witness its first sub-2-minute trot mile in 1994, with the history-making mile coming in Atlantic Sire Stakes action at Exhibition Park Raceway in St. John.
Claire McDonald all by herself. West River Exotic looking to claim the track trotting record here tonight. The 3-year-old all by himself. He's up by 18 lengths. As they come down the stretch for home, West River Exotic to the line. Claire McDonald with West River Exotic for the win.
Hello, my name is Doug Harkness, and welcome to highlights of the 1994 Maritime harness racing season. It was a year when we would see our first sub-2-minute trot mile. Fittingly, the big mile came in Atlantic Sire Stakes action, races for Maritime breds that are held at the various tracks in the region and sponsored by the 4 Atlantic province governments. The winner was West River Exotic. He was a 3-year-old gelding by Ambro Classic, owned and bred by Claire McDonald, a 31-year-old mother of 3 from Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
I guess maybe it was a little bit of a surprise when I went back, paraded back in St. John, because my own watch was a few fifths out. Didn't have it better than 2 minutes on my own watch, but I really knew he was capable of it. I just didn't really expect to do it that easy.
Claire, did you at any time in that mile in St. John, were you looking for a track record with the West River Exotic?
I guess probably I was thinking of a track record. I wasn't thinking of beating 2 minutes or pushing him that hard, but I've been kind of letting him go farther and farther for a while. I was just letting him trot maybe the last 16th in the last quarter, and in St. John I let him trot a half. So he, I knew he was really capable of the track record. It was just whether he was capable of beating 2 minutes there or not. That's not the fastest piece of dirt in the Maritimes by any means, although they did have it in good shape for that evening.
West River Exotic was the only Triple Crown winner in Maritime trotting last year, with his richest victory coming in the Dairy Queen Futurity at Charlottetown Driving Park on the final night of Old Home Week.
They get on by the 8th mark. Nick Way Joe shows the way early, has it by a length and a half. Princetown Mark is racing second. West River Exotic drives up on the outside, Park third. Fourth is Alan Donix. Buster Hill looks at it fifth. West River Exotic now is looking for the lead as they trot by the opening quarter and gets it. West River Exotic on top and trotting away by 2. Nick Way Joe is second, trotting third. Princetown Mark. There goes Buster Hill getting underway from 4. They were by the opening quarter in 31 seconds flat. West River Exotic in command of this field of trotters as they trot through the stretch in front of the stand first time. West River Exotic on top. It had to be Mees up 3 wide on the outside. Is now second between horses Buster Hill. Nick Way Joe up the rail. 101 and 3 by the half-mile mark. West River Exotic is your leader as they move by the 5H mark. Buster Hill drives at the leader outside second. Nick Way Joe at the rail trotting third. He trot the back stretch final time, and the West River Exotic is in command by the 3/4 mile mark. Up to on the outside Buster Hill. Nick Way Joe trotting strong at the rail third. Alan Donix now fourth. 1:33 and 2 by the 3/4. They have an 1/8 of a mile left to go. West River Exotic. Here comes Nick Way Joe on the outside. 2 of them, the settle of Dairy Queen Futurity. West River Exotic responding to the challenge and turning it on. West River Exotic wins it, trotting away. Nick Way Joe second, Buster Hill for 3.
The most prestigious race in Atlantic Canada is the Gold Cup and Saucer at Charlottetown Driving Park during Old Home Week. And for the first time in 1994, this race was simulcast to regional tracks throughout Atlantic Canada, to racetracks in Quebec, Ontario, and to Rosecroft Raceway in the United States. This race is a race that every Maritime horseman wants to win and has attracted starters from the United States, Quebec, and Ontario in recent years. There are trials to determine which horses meet in the final. In 1994, a 4-year-old by the name of One Way or Another won Gold Cup and Saucer Trial 1 on Monday night for Bill Cass, while the winner in Gold Cup and Saucer Trial 2 was Nuclear Flash, a no-nuke stallion from Ontario who was making his first Maritime start. This set the stage for the Gold Cup and Saucer final, a night with 10,000 fans on hand at Charlottetown Driving Park, and a race that developed into a real battle between the Maritime-owned Hornby Blaze and the Ontario Invader Nuclear Flash. Here's Boomer Gallant with his call of the Gold Cup and Saucer.
Up and pacing 4 wide, up front as they leave the gate. Heads up at 4 wide, driving into the first turn. Hornby Blaze awardable up 3 wood on the outside. Ryan Flying is going with them at the rail. They go racing to the opening quarter. Arriving there, Hornby Blaze on the outside is showing on top. Ryan Flying is second. Awardable is parked on the outside third. General's Gate is racing fourth, and Nuclear Flash wide in 5. Coyote Spur, Luke's Jiggy one way or another, and 3 Cherries is trailing 28 and 2 by the opening quarter. Off the top turn they come. Hornby Blaze shows the way up front. Ryan Flying is racing second. Wardable on the outside, driving third. Nuclear Flash wide in 4. General's Gate is racing fifth. Hornby Blaze taking them by the half. Ryan Flying, there goes Coyote Spur moving up on the outside as they race the paddock turn second time. 58 and 2 by the half-mile mark. Hornby Blaze on top, and Nuclear Flash 3 wood on the outside. They race the backstretch, final time. Hornby Blaze and Nuclear Flash is flying up on the outside. Nuclear Flash, Hornby Blaze, Ryan Flying is racing third. They go to the 7/8 mark. Hornby Blaze is taking them on. Nuclear Flash, Hornby Blaze, 1:27 and 4 by the 3/4. They'll settle this one in the stretch drive. Hornby Blaze and Nuclear Flash, neck and neck, toe to toe. Hornby Blaze, Nuclear Flash. It's Nuclear Flash to win it. Second is Hornby Blaze. General's Gate will be 3.
Dean Hoffman, editor of Hoofbeats magazine, says the Gold Cup and Saucer race is one that any real race fan should see at least once in their life. Fred Noy, the executive vice president of the United States Trotting Association, agrees.
Doug, it was just a fantastic experience, and I'm just sort of echoing what I've been hearing before I came here, and I wish I could say something different really, but it was fantastic. The crowds I thought were phenomenal, the whole atmosphere, and it's goosebump time. I mean, you just sit there and you just feel very fortunate that you're part of it.
Well, let's return now to the Maritime free-for-all scene, a series of races staged at the various racetracks. The free-for-all stars in 1994 included Hornby Blaze, Chatham Light, Reggie, and West River Diesel. One of the earliest races is at Fredericton Raceway. It's called the Walter Dale Memorial. It's a race named after a former Canadian champion pacer by the name of Walter Dale. Fredericton Raceway was the scene of the first sub-2-minute mile in Maritime history, and Shannon Commander paced our first 1:55 mile when he won the Walter Dale Memorial in 1993. Unfortunately, Shannon Commander was unable to defend his title in 1994, but among the starters was former world champion Chatham Light, who had won the McCain Memorial at Woodstock 2 years in a row and was looking for his first victory in the prestigious Walter Dale.
They straighten into the backstretch, heading for the quarter with Chatham Light. Sir Elmo is in 2. Special Star on the move now. 3 on the outside. Fair Park in 4. Parkhurst is in 5. Cecil is 6, and West River Diesel 7. They race by that first quarter in 28 and 1. Chatham Light shows the way. Sir Elmo is in 2. Special Star moving up 3 on the outside. Parkhurst is in 4. Fair Park is in 4. Parkhurst is 5. Cecil on the move from 6, and West River Diesel 7. They swing down the stretch for the half. Chatham Light shows the way. Sir Elmo is in 2. Fair Park is in 3. Special Star 4 on the outside. Cecil in 5. They're by the half, 58 and 1. Racing on for the 5/8 with Chatham Light. Sir Elmo in 2. Fair Park moves out from 3. Cecil is in 4. Parkhurst is 5. West River Diesel is 6, and Special Star 7. They race for the 3/4.
It's still Chatham Light. Sir Elmo is in 2. Fair Park is 3. Cecil drives up 4 on the outside. Closing the gap, quick along the rail goes Parkhurst. They're by the 3/4, 1:27 and 3. It's Chatham Light, Sir Elmo. Parkhurst now up to be 3. Cecil is in 4. Fair Park is 5. West River Diesel and Special Star. They're off the 7/8. Down the stretch he comes. It's Chatham Light. Sir Elmo up on the outside. Parkhurst. They come to the wire. It's Chatham Light. Parkhurst, Sir Elmo at the wire. Chatham Light. Parkhurst, Sir Elmo.
One of the most exciting races of the season was the Johnny Conroy Memorial at Truro Raceway, a race named after the late Canadian Hall of Fame driver. Among the starters was Reggie, a 6-year-old legal notice gelding who was the seasonal leader at Summerside Raceway last year. Reggie would watch as Chatham Light and Hornby Blaze battled it out up front.
Thames View Tempo neatly tucks into a spot at the rail, racing 4th. In 5 in the early going is Sunset Cullen. They're hooked up in a speed duel on the front end. Chatham Light on the inside, parking out Hornby Blaze. West River Diesel tracks them 3rd. 27 seconds the opening quarter. Then we have a gap of 2.5 back to Thames View Tempo, who races out of 4. Moving up on the outside, that's Reggae pacing in 5. They head off the top turn and approach the halfway point. Chatham Light leads it by a length and a half. Hornby Blaze has settled in 2nd. Reggae moving up on the outside. That flushes Hornby Blaze back to the outside. At the rail is West River Diesel. They dip into the bend on their way to the 5/8. 56 seconds flat the half. Chatham Light still leading the way by 1 length. Hornby Blaze going a tough opening half on the outside. He's still racing 2nd. West River Diesel 3rd. Reggae covered up on the limb is 4th. Thames View Tempo has 5. Outside Warrantable traveling in 6. Coyote Spur coming 3 wide 7. And Sunset Cullen is trailing. They head on past the 3/4. It's still Chatham Light clinging to the lead. On the outside, Hornby Blaze. Reggae is coming 3 wide 3rd. West River Diesel in along the rail is traveling 4th. 5th on the inside is Thames View Tempo. 3/4 in 1:26. Chatham Light is hanging very tough on the inside. Hornby Blaze outside. Reggae 3 wide 3rd. They drive to the lane. It's still Chatham Light. Hornby Blaze. Reggae up in the far outside. Reggae getting up to win it. Chatham Light will finish 2nd.
On the stakes scene, Maritime harness racing fans would be treated to a season-long battle between 2 great 3-year-old fillies, Dexters Jane and CL's Social Whirl. Both earned more than $55,000 during their sophomore campaign. CL's Social Whirl, who won Horse of the Year honors at Prince Edward Island, would win the first head-to-head engagement between these 2 great fillies, that coming in the elimination heat of the Dairy Queen Futurity, races sponsored by Dairy Queen and the Maritime Breeders Association.
They head off the top turn. CL Social World by a length and a half as they race to the payoff. On the inside is First Quest. Down in the passing lane is Miss Swish at the line. CL Social World will win it. First Quest is 2nd. It looks like Miss Swish finishing 3rd.
Dexters Jane got into the Dairy Queen Futurity final on the also eligible list, and despite drawing post position number 6, made the most of that opportunity. Here's Joe Kelly of Truro Raceway with the call to the Dairy Queen Futurity Championship final for 3-year-old pacing fillies.
CL Social Whirl is parked on the outside, racing 3rd. First Quest out the rail is 4th. Parked outside and racing from 5 as they continue through the back stretches. Zipper Bell. Jackie B. Nimble races 6, Miss Swish in 7, and Pillar of Strength is 8th, and trailing the field. They continue on to the 3/8. Dexters Jane has parked out CL Social World, who's half a length back, racing 2nd. Davies Lady gets away racing in the pocket. They continue off the top turn, 29 seconds the opening quarter. Earl Smith has Dexters Jane on the front end by 3/4 of a length. Parked out is CL Social World 2nd, coming 3 wide on the outside is Miss Swish into 3. At the rail in 4, Davies Lady. 5th in the center is Zipper Bell. Then we go back to First Quest, who shuffled back and locked in 7. They head for the backside. Final time halfway home in 58 and 4/5 seconds. It's still Dexters Jane, leading it now by 1 length. Outside, CL Social World is second. Davies Lady along the rail racing third. On the limb and pacing fourth as they approach 3/4 is Zipper Bell, but it's Dexters Jane leading the fillies on to the 7/8, a length and a half lead. In pursuit, second is CL Social World. Davies Lady down at the rail has 3. Pillar of Strength ranging up at the outside, fourth. Now moving out of the pocket. And a challenge is CL Social World, but it's still Dexters Jane. Here comes Davies Lady. First Quest at the rail is fourth. 1:29.1. The fillies are on their way home. Dexters Jane trying to hold them off. On the outside, CL Social World. First Quest in the passing lane. Dexters Jane and Earl Smith win the Dairy Queen Futurity Final.
Dexters Jane would top $100,000 in career earnings during the 1994 season, becoming the latest Maritime bred to reach that pinnacle. She was bred by Mr. Winston Taylor of Prince Edward Island, who was the co-horseman of the year in 1994 on Prince Edward Island. She was owned by Russ Doyle, who was the sports editor of the Cape Breton Post-Record in Sydney.
We're awfully proud of Jane. She's done awfully well from the beginning, and we had her sister Dexter Swan before that, and between the two of them, they never gave us a bad moment on the racetrack.
Guy on the Go, a 3-year-old colt by Willowbird, was the only repeat champion in the Atlantic Sire Stakes pacing ranks in 1994. Co-owned by trainer-driver Russell Burgoyne and Sandy Fraser of Dartmouth, the first chairman of the Maritime Province's Harness Racing Commission, Guy on the Go's style of coming from behind sometime proved to be costly, like it did in the Dairy Queen Futurity at Truro when he just didn't get up to catch the front runner at the wire. But in the Atlantic Sire Stakes Championship final at Fredericton Raceway, Guy on the Go would not be denied, although he lagged behind in the early going.
Woodmere Hare up 3 on the outside. 5-0 down along the rail in 4. Toddy is a 5. What a High Hope in 6. Guy on the Go is 7 and 4. Still Rebel 8 as they race for that first quarter with 4 men only. Stargaze down is in 2. Woodmere Hare is 3. 5-0 is in 4. They go by the first quarter in 29 seconds, racing into the barn turn first time round. It's 4 men only. Stargaze down is in 2. Woodmere Hare is 3. 5-0 is in 4 as they swing off the 3/8 and head down the stretch for the half with 4 men only. Stargaze down is in 2. They're coming 3 abreast, racing to the half, up on the far outside. What a High Hope challenges as they come to the half. 4 men only to the half, 1 minute and 1/5. What a High Hope up 2 on the outside. Guy on the Go now on the move, 3 wide. They race on for the 5/8, 4 men only. Up along the rail, Stargaze down in 2. Guy on the Go, 3 on the outside. What a High Hope in 4. Woodmere Hare is a 5. 4 still Rebel now on the move, 6 on the outside. Toddy is 7 and 5-0 as they go by the 3/4. Guy on the Go now to the top in 1:29. It's Guy on the Go, 4 men only in 2. Stargaze down now out from 3. They're swinging off the 7/8 and heading for home. It's Guy on the Go, 4 men only. Stargaze down as they race down the stretch for the wire. Guy on the Go by 5 lengths. It's Guy on the Go. Stargaze down. Up on the outside comes Toddy to the wire. It's going to be Guy on the Go. Stargaze down. Toddy.
The 2-year-old Trotters were a competitive group in 1994, but it was a daughter of the Super Bowl stallion Van Buren Hanover who would rise to the top in this division. Miss Kay Mack, owned and bred by Duncan McKay of Breadalbin, Prince Edward Island, missed much of her 1994 season with illness, but came back to win the Dairy Queen Futurity at St. John Exhibition Park Raceway in convincing style.
But through the stretch, it's Miss Kay Mack and Dusty Lane Ben. Maggie Hill now racing third. Miss Kay Mack trotting on top and holding. Dusty Lane Ben, Maggie Hill, advanced version. Here they are. At the line, Miss Kay Mack wins the Dairy Queen Futurity, followed by Dusty Lane Ben and then Maggie Hill, advanced version.
One of the most interesting stories of the 1994 season was the exploits of 2-year-old pacing colt Jasper Moon, who gained recognition as the first two-year-old winner in Canada. Owned and bred by Paul Rogerson of Westville, Nova Scotia, Jasper Moon earned close to $50,000 on the season, including a stakes victory at Summerside Raceway.
Fourth midway in the final turn now, onto the 7/8 mark, three-quarter time. 1:34 to 1, they're inside, an eighth to go. Hit the ticket, trying to take it, gate to wire, but here comes Jasper Moon now, moving up on the outside and taking over in deep stretch. Jasper Moon coming on to get the call. Second will be Hit the Ticket, third, Mine of His Own.
The two-year-old pacing colts were also a competitive division in Atlantic Sire Stakes action, but when it came time for the championship final at Exhibition Park Raceway in St. John, the heavy footing suited a colt by the name of Calgary Flutie, this colt named after the Calgary quarterback, Doug Flutie. And with Steve Mahar at the reins, it was a stakes touchdown for this colt owned by Dr. Bob Hume of Woodstock, NB.
Clonmel Doherty driving third. Jasper Moon takes third spot away at the pylons as they go on by the opening eighth. Down the backstretch for the first time. On the outside now, Mine of His Own up by a half length, but Call It Tar doesn't want to give it up at the pylons. Mine of His Own now clears to the top as they go on by the quarter in 30 seconds flat. Mine of His Own by a length and a half. Call It Tar has second with Jasper Moon racing third. On the inside, racing fourth, Blue Amigo. Clonmel Doherty on the outside. As they race on by the 3/8 mile marker, Fussy's Pride has sixth. Then it's Calgary Flutie and Fictional first as they come off the top turn, racing down the stretch in front of the stand for the opening half. On top and cutting it out, Mine of His Own. Call It Tar in the pocket. Clonmel Doherty now pacing third on the outside. Jasper Moon has fourth by the half in 1:02. Calgary Flutie now racing fifth. Then it's Fussy's Pride, Fictional first as they go on round that turn. Blue Amigo moving fifth as they come round that turn for the 5/8. Mine of His Own shows the way. Call It Tar in the pocket. Jasper Moon third. Clonmel Doherty has fourth. There goes Calgary Flutie, full of pace, three wide, now fifth, now fourth, now third, and winging after the leader, Mine of His Own. On to the three-quarters, and Paul McDonald urging Mine of His Own on. Three-quarters of 1:33 and 3. Calgary Flutie now full of pace and busting to the top as they round the turn for the 7/8. Mine of His Own has second, racing third. Jasper Moon on the outside by the 7/8, and off the top turn they come. Calgary Flutie on top by a length and a half. Mine of His Own second, racing third. Jasper Moon. The far outside, Blue Amigo as they come down to the line. Calgary Flutie trying to hold. Calgary Flutie wins it. Then it is Mine of His Own for the deuce. Tight for show between Jasper Moon and Blue Amigo, and the time for that mile, 2:05 and 2/5.
Harness racing is a year-round professional sport in the Maritimes with some 455 events scheduled on the 1995 calendar. Each of the racetracks have special weeks of racing. Harness racing has been a passion for Maritimers for more than 150 years, and at one time almost every community had its own racetrack. Among the big league stars in harness racing have been such Maritimers as the legendary Joe O'Brien and Earl Avery, both members of the Hall of Fame, as well as modern-day giants such as Bill O'Donnell, Jim Doherty, Harry Poulton, and Wally Hennessy. Maritime breeding has also come of age, and we now are producing winners at all the major racetracks in North America. Our fastest Maritime bred is Jaguar Knight, who was bred by Dr. Tom McMaster, St. John, New Brunswick. Last year at the Meadowlands in New Jersey, Jaguar Knight became the second fastest Canadian sired horse ever with a 1:51 and 2 victory at the Meadowlands.
Three-quarters in 1:23 and 3. As that horse go off stride, scattering the pack. Off stride went Armbro Local, and it's all Jaguar Knight with a 4-5 length lead. Oscarson second, up on the far outside, Mr. Manners. It's Jaguar Knight, shortening strides at the end, but will still hang on. Oscarson second, Ballycarney third in 1:51 and 3.
Jaguar Knight sold for $24,000 at a yearling sale in Truro, bringing the highest price of that sale. But there's been some bargains at the same sale, including Peggy O'Neill, who sold for less than $3,000 to Bill Blakely of Dorchester, New Brunswick. She came on as a 2-year-old to win the richest race ever in Cape Breton history, the Dairy Queen Futurity for 2-year-old fillies.
Turn taken off. In along the rail is Bread Machine in the middle, and Peggy O'Neill joins the hunt by the 8th mile marker. A speed duel on the front end as Peggy O'Neill takes some down the backside. Up and at her second is Island Paragon. By the opening quarter now, an Island Paragon grabs the lead for Albert Bernard. In the pocket now, yielding is Peggy O'Neill, getting away third. That's Bread Machine, another 2 lengths fourth. That's Dexter's Crown, opening quarter, 29 seconds even. Sitting 5 is Charlotte's Brit, 6. That is Island Piper as the field swings in front of the grandstand. Half mile the next call, and Island Paragon takes them halfway home by 2 open lengths. Second is Peggy O'Neill. Third, that is Bread Machine. Closer 4 now. That's Dexter's Crown. 5 to the outside is Charlotte's Brit. 6 at the wood, Island Piper. Your trailers are Charlotte's Brit goes to a break. Half mile, believe it or not, 58 and 3 as they head down the back stretch. 3/4 the next stop. Island Paragon continues with the lead by an open length. Peggy O'Neill looks to the outside second. Third, Bread Machine outside 4. Here's Dexter's Crown as Peggy O'Neill had them by the 3/4. 1:30 track record speed through the top turn. And Peggy O'Neill has them now by 2 open lengths. And Danny O'Brien goes to work off the top turn. Peggy O'Neill bringing them on home outside second. Here's Dexter's Crown. Third at the wood, Island Paragon to the wire. Danny O'Brien has Peggy O'Neill home in the $50,000 Dairy Queen Futurity.
We conclude our 1994 highlights of maritime harness racing with a heartwarming story that unfolded at Charlottetown Driving Park on Prince Edward Island. It was the final of the Atlantic Sire Stakes for 2-year-old fillies, and horse owner Tom McPherson of Glace Bay, Nova Scotia, pledged any winnings of his horse, Charlotte's Bret, to 12-year-old Jeffrey Bowman, an island youngster who needed medical support. Charlotte's Bret was a long shot, went away at odds of 26-1 in a race that is known as the Miracle at the CDP.
3 wide to the lane. Dexter's Crown, Peggy O'Neill, Charlotte's Bret and Bread Machine. Charlotte's Bret is coming on. Charlotte's Bret to win it. Bread Machine second. Peggy O'Neill 4-3.
Charlotte's Bret's share of the purse was $8,900, with that money going to the Jeff Bowman Fund.
Person don't realize, I guess, the things happen or what goes on in the world, and unless I was involved in himself, and like it was quite a feeling for me after it was all over, and I really got realizing the benefits that it had done, and you know, it's something that should give horse racing a really good noticing point, and instead of a bad points, I mean, a good side of harness racing, what things can happen.
Earl Smith is the same horseman who developed Arrive at 5, the 1994 aged pacing horse in North America with over $543,000 in earnings. As for Tom McPherson, he was selected Horseman of the Year in Atlantic Canada, and Harness Tracks of America named him the winner of the Dan Patch Award. We'd like to thank you for joining us for highlights of the 1994 season in maritime harness racing, and hope to see you at the racetrack.